My name is Kyle Steele, council member-elect for Norman City Council Ward 6, and this is a summary for the City Council meeting that happened on March 25th, 2026. As usual, agenda packet and timestamps will be listed down below. This was a very long City Council meeting. It lasted about 4 hours and 15 minutes. The first part of the meeting with the announcements and proclamations went all as expected. Most of the reason for the long meeting was centered around 2 OTA contracts that were up on the non-consent docket, as well as a large number of public comments related to these contracts. For those of you who have been following meetings, these were the 2 items that were postponed 2 weeks ago at the last City Council meeting due to bad weather. Now, while these are separate non-consent items on the docket, for the sake of this summary, I'm going to be combining them into one issue since they were both related to the OTA. Essentially, these are proposed contracts between the City of Norman and the OTA for the relocation of water wells along the proposed east-west connector, as well as for a section of 36th Avenue Northwest where the where the intersection with the turnpike would be. And all this is west of I-35 involving these contracts being discussed. By and large, most of the public comment on these items were heavily against it. Most of the people who spoke just essentially don't want the city to work with the OTA at all for a variety of reasons, which includes like potential lawsuits that may be happening against the OTA, or not wanting the OTA to have their foot in the door of Norman, and the fact that these contracts may not even be needed in the first place. Essentially, what people are saying is the monetary benefits of these contracts just aren't needed, or they aren't worth it because it might make it easier for OTA to continue to do work on turnpikes in Norman in the future, in the years to come, which people are heavily against. Now, on the flip side, there were arguments from city staff that these contracts are a way to get money from the OTA for work that the city would have to be doing at some point anyway. Essentially, the work that the OTA is proposing in these contracts involving the water wells and the section of 36th Avenue Northwest, this is already work that the city was going to have to do eventually in the future. But, you know, if you pass this contract now, then, hey, the OTA can cover the lion's share of it, and then it's not a burden on the city taxpayers. There was also some concerns on the legal side of things that even if Norman does not enact these contracts, that the OTA will still just be able to build the turnpikes anyway under eminent domain. And if they go that route, then they wouldn't have to pay as much to Norman for this work that they're going to be doing compared to what they're offering in the contract. Essentially, they're saying like, hey, the OTA was going to be doing this work anyway, but if they have to do it under eminent domain, they're going to get a lot less than if you sign this contract with them. Now, ultimately, these 2 contracts did pass with a 7-2 vote, with council members Nofire and Blodgett voting against it, and this understandably made a lot of people upset at the meeting, and they were used public comments on the second contract agenda item, as well as the general public comment section, to voice those concerns and frustrations. Now, some of those public comments did include calls for people to potentially vote no on all upcoming ballot issues on the 7th, as well as opinions that City Council does not represent the people who elected it. And there was also some comments brought up regarding potential parallels between the Arena and Entertainment District TIF petition that was thrown out by the Supreme Court. Normally, I don't really try to get too much off to a tangent, but what I will say is, you know, there is a ballot obviously on April 7th for a lot of issues, and, you know, vote how you're going to vote. You know, kind of like the mayor said at the meeting, it's your prerogative how you choose to vote. But what I would advocate for, both as a individual and as a council member elect, is that, vote on the proposed ballot measures on their merit. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Some of these proposals are very, very good for Norman, and if you are choosing to vote no solely because of how this vote is handled tonight, once again, that is your choice, but you're affecting a lot of potential things that could be happening in Norman. But all that being said, as I said, the meeting went on for over 4 hours. So if you want to see footage from that event, once again, just kind of skim the YouTube link I'm going to put down below. However, there's probably also going to be local news articles on this, on kind of like the local affiliates, because there were a lot of members of the media there. But if you have questions about me or want to talk about local issues with a council member elect, please don't hesitate to reach out for me at KyleForNorman@gmail.com. I'm still monitoring that email, and I'm always available to those who just want to talk about local issues. Thank you.